Chayei Sarah. Sarah lived 127 years. These were the years of the life of Sarah. She died at Kiryat Arba, that is, Hebron, in the land of Canaan. And Abraham went to mourn for Sarah and to weep over her. Then Abraham stood up from before his dead and spoke to the Hittites and said, I am a sojourner and foreigner among you. Give me property among you for a burying place, that I may bury my dead out of my sight. And the Hittites responded to Abraham, saying, Hear us, my Lord. You are a mighty prince among us. Bury your dead in the choicest of our burial places. None of us will withhold from you his burial place, that you may have a tomb for burying your dead. And Abraham rose up and bowed to the Hittites, the people of the land, and said to them, If you are willing that I should bury my dead out of my sight, hear me and entreat for me Ephron the son of Zohar, that he may give me the cave of Machpelah which he has, which is at the end of his field. Let him give it to me at the full price as property for a burial place among you. Ephron the Hittite was sitting among his people, and he replied to Abraham in the hearing of all the Hittites who had come to the gate of the city, No, my lord, hear me. I give you the field and the cave that is in it. I give it to you in the presence of the sons of my people. I give it to you. Bury your dead. Then Abraham bowed himself down before the people of the land and said to Ephron in the hearing of the people of the land, But if you will hear me, I give the price of the field. Accept it from me, that I may bury my dead there. Ephron answered Abraham and said to him, Listen to me, my lord. The land is worth 400 shekels of silver. But what is that between you and me? Bury your dead. And Abraham listened to Ephron, and Abraham weighed out the silver for Ephron, which he had named in the hearing of the Hittites, 400 shekels of silver, currency of the merchants. So the field of Ephron, which was in Machpelah, which was before Mamre, the field, and the cave which was in it, and all the trees that were in the field, which were within all the surrounding borders, were deeded to Abraham as a possession in the presence of the Hittites, before all who went in at the gate of the city. And after this, Abraham buried Sarah his wife in the cave of the field of Machpelah, before Mamre, that is, Hebron, in the land of Canaan. So the field and the cave in it were deeded to Abraham by the Hittites as a burial site. Now Abraham was old, well advanced in age, and Yisrael had blessed Abraham in all things. And Abraham said to his servant, the oldest of his household, who had charge of all that he had, Put your hand under my thigh, and I will make you swear by Yisrael, the Elohim of heaven and the Elohim of the earth, that you will not take a wife for my son from the daughters of the Canaanites among whom I dwell, but you shall go to my country and to my family and take a wife for my son Yissaschar. The servant asked him,
What if the woman is unwilling to come back with me to this land? Shall I then take your son back to the country you came from?
But Abraham said to him, Beware that you do not take my son back there. Yisrael, Elohim of heaven, who took me from my father's house and from the land of my family, and who spoke to me and swore to me, saying, To your descendants I give this land. He will send his angel before you, and you shall take a wife for my son from there. And if the woman is not willing to follow you, then you will be released from this oath. Only do not take my son back there. So the servant put his hand under the thigh of Abraham his master and swore to him concerning this matter. Then the servant took 10 of his master's camels and departed, for all his master's goods were in his hand. And he arose and went to Aram Naharaim, which is Mesopotamia, to the city of Nahor. At evening, the time when women went out to draw water, he made the camels kneel beside a spring outside the town. Then he prayed,
Yahweh, Elohim of my master Abraham, make me successful today and show kindness to my master Abraham. Behold, I am standing by the spring of water, and the daughters of the men of the city are coming out to draw water. Let the young woman to whom I shall say, Please let down your jar that I may drink, and who shall say, Drink, and I will water your camels. Let her be the one whom you have appointed for your servant Yissaschar. By this I shall know that you have shown steadfast love to my master.
Before he had finished speaking, behold, Rivkah, who was born to Bethuel, the son of Milcah, the wife of Nahor, Abraham's brother, came out with her water jar on her shoulder. Now the young woman was very beautiful to behold, a virgin. No man had known her. And she went down to the well, filled her jar, and came up. Then the servant ran to meet her and said,
Please, give me a little water to drink from your jar.
She said, Drink, my lord. And she quickly let down her jar upon her hand and gave him a drink. When she had finished giving him a drink, she said, I'll draw water for your camels also, until they have finished drinking. So she quickly emptied her jar into the trough and ran again to the well to draw water, and she drew for all his camels. The man gazed at her in silence to learn whether Yahweh had prospered his journey or not. So it was when the camels had finished drinking that the man took a golden nose ring weighing half a shekel and 2 bracelets for her wrists weighing 10 shekels of gold, and said,
Whose daughter are you? Tell me, please, is there room in your father's house for us to lodge?
She answered him, I am the daughter of Bethuel, the son that Milcah bore to Nahor. Moreover, she said to him, We have both straw and feed enough and room to lodge. Then the man bowed down and worshipped Yah. And he said,
Blessed be Yahweh, Elohim of my master Abraham, who has not forsaken his mercy and his truth toward my master. As for me being on the way, Yahweh led me to the house of my master's brethren.
So the young woman ran and told her mother's household these things. Rivkah had a brother whose name was Lavan. Lavan ran out toward the man to the spring, and as soon as he saw the ring and bracelets on his sister's arms and heard the words of Rivkah his sister, Thus the man spoke to me. He went to the man, and behold, he was standing by the camels at the spring. Lavan said, Come in, you who are blessed by Yah. Why are you standing out here? I've prepared the house and a place for the camels. So the man came to the house and unharnessed the camels and gave straw and fodder to the camels. And there was water to wash his feet and the feet of the men who were with him. A meal was set before him, but he said,
I will not eat until I have told about my errand.
So Lavan said, Speak on. And he said,
I am the servant of Abraham. Yahweh has blessed my master greatly, and he has become great. And he has given him flocks and herds, silver and gold, male and female servants, and camels and donkeys. And Sarah, my master's wife, bore a son to my master when she was old, and to him he has given all that he has. Now my master made me swear, saying, You shall not take a wife for my son from the daughters of the Canaanites in whose land I dwell, but you shall go to my father's house and to my family and take a wife for my son. Then I asked my master, What if the woman will not come back with me? But he said to me, Yahweh, before whom I walk, will send his angel with you and prosper your way, and you shall take a wife for my son from my family and from my father's house. You will be clear from this oath when you arrive among my family, for if they will not give her to you, then you will be released from my oath. When I came to the spring today, I said, Yahweh, Elohim of my master Abraham, if you will, please grant success to the journey on which I have come. Behold, I am standing by the spring of water. Let the virgin who comes out to draw water, to whom I shall say, Please give me a little water from your jar to drink, and who will say to me, Drink, and I will draw water for your camels also, let her be the woman whom Yahweh has appointed for my master's son. Before I had finished speaking in my heart, behold, Rivkah came out with her water jar on her shoulder, and she went down to the spring and drew water. I said to her, Please let me drink. She quickly let down her jar from her shoulder and said, Drink, and I will give your camels drink also. So I drank, and she gave drink to the camels also. Then I asked her and said, Whose daughter are you? And she said, The daughter of Bethuel, Nahor's son, whom Milcah bore to him. So I put the nose ring on her nose and the bracelets on her wrists, and I bowed my head and worshipped Yahweh, and blessed Yahweh, Elohim of my master Abraham, who had led me in the way of truth to take the daughter of my master's brother for his son. Now if you will deal kindly and truly with my master, tell me, and if not, tell me, that I may turn to the right hand or to the left.
Then Lavan and Bethuel answered and said, This word comes from Yahweh. We can say nothing to you, one way or the other. Behold, Rivkah is before you. Take her and go, and let her be the wife of your master's son, as Yahweh has spoken. And it came to pass, when Abraham's servant heard their words, that he worshipped Yah, bowing himself to the earth. Then the servant brought out gold and silver jewelry and articles of clothing and gave them to Rivkah. He also gave costly gifts to her brother and to her mother. And he and the men who were with him ate and drank and stayed all night. Then they arose in the morning, and he said,
Send me away to my master.
Her brother and her mother said, Let the young woman remain with us a while, at least 10 days. After that, she may go. But he responded to them,
Do not delay me, since Yahweh has made my journey a success. Send me away that I may go to my master.
They said, Let us call the young woman and ask her. Then they called Rivkah and said to her, Will you go with this man? And she said, I will go. So they sent away Rivkah their sister, and her nurse, and Abraham's servant and his men. And they blessed Rivkah and said to her, Our sister, may you become the mother of thousands of 10,000s, and may your descendants possess the gates of those who hate them. Then Rivkah and her maids arose, and they rode on the camels and followed the man. So the servant took Rivkah and departed. Now Yissaschar was returning from Be'er Lahai-roi, for he lived in the Negev region. And Yissaschar went out to meditate in the field toward the evening. And he lifted up his eyes and saw, and behold, there were camels coming. And Rivkah lifted up her eyes, and when she saw Yissaschar, she dismounted from the camel, for she had said to the servant, Who is this man walking in the field to meet us? The servant said,
It is my master.
So she took a veil and covered herself. And the servant told Yissaschar all the things that he had done. Then Yissaschar brought her into his mother Sarah's tent, and he took Rivkah, and she became his wife, and he loved her. So Yissaschar was comforted after his mother's death. Abraham again took a wife, and her name was Keturah, and she bore him Zimran, Yokshan, Medan, Midian, Ishbak, and Shua. Yokshan begot Shiva and Dedan, and the sons of Dedan were Ashurim, Letushim, and Leumim. And the sons of Midian were Ephah, Epher, Hanoch, Avida, and Eldah. All these were the children of Keturah. And Abraham gave all that he had to Yissaschar, but Abraham gave gifts to the sons of the concubines which Abraham had. And while he was still living, he sent them eastward, away from Yissaschar his son, to the country of the east. These are the days of the years of Abraham's life, 175 years. Then Avraham breathed his last and died in a good old age, an old man and full of years, and was gathered to his people. And his sons Yissaschar and Ishmael buried him in the cave of Machpelah, which is before Mamre, in the field of Ephron, the son of Zohar the Hittite, the field which Avraham purchased from the Hittites. There Avraham was buried, and Sarah his wife. And it came to pass, after the death of Avraham, that Elohim blessed his son Yissaschar, and Yissaschar dwelt at Be'er Lahai-roi. Now this is the genealogy of Ishmael, Avraham's son, whom Hagar the Egyptian, Sarah's maidservant, bore to Avraham. And these were the names of the sons of Ishmael by their names, according to their generations. The firstborn of Ishmael, Nevaot, then Kedar, Adbil, Mibsam, Mishma, Duma, Massa, Chedad, Tima, Yetur, Naphish, and Kedma. These were the sons of Ishmael, and these were their names, by their towns and their settlements. 12 princes, according to their nations. These were the years of the life of Ishmael, 137 years. And he breathed his last and died, and was gathered to his people. They dwelt from Havilah as far as Shur, which is east of Mitzrayim, as you go toward Ashur. And he died in the presence of all his brethren.